If you ever want to know who truly loves you, get married. Not because of the celebration, not because of the vows, but because a wedding brings out the real version of people. Some people show you their hearts, others show you their knives. My name is Ethan Cole, and I learned that lesson the hard way. Standing in a tux, watching the people I paid for, protected, and supported my entire life try to destroy me on the most important day of my life. My sister tried to sabotage my wedding. My parents defended her. My family lied, manipulated, and plotted behind my back, all while believing I was just some boring software kid who fixed printers for fun. What they didn't know was I'd built a $50 million tech company. I quietly owned 75% of the family house. And I had evidence, receipts, recordings, logs, for everything they'd done. So instead of the public humiliation they planned for me, they got a reality check they will never recover from. This is the story of family jealousy, attempted sabotage, and the quietest, cleanest, most devastating revenge a Texan can deliver. Texas justice. Fade in. Some families have favorite children. Mine didn't bother hiding it. Sarah, my sister 1 year younger, entered the world and instantly became the household celebrity. Everything she did was a moment. Every picture she took was art. Every hobby she attempted was brilliance. Every mistake she made was just part of being special. Then there was me, the older brother, the responsible one, the quiet one, the one who followed rules, did homework early, fixed things around the house. But to my parents, I wasn't the special one. I was background noise. If Sarah scribbled on a wall, look at her creativity. If I won a math award, nice, honey, put it somewhere. If Sarah baked a cookie and burned the tray, she's trying. She has such a spark. If I built my first gaming PC at 12, why are you wasting money on this stuff? It wasn't hate. It wasn't abuse. It was something quieter, something colder. Indifference. And indifference cuts deeper than anger. Growing up, I learned two truths. Attention in my family was currency, and Sarah had a lifetime membership. Value wasn't measured by achievement, it was measured by how loudly you demanded love. Sarah learned this early and mastered it. She cried loud, she bragged loud, she argued loud, and she always won. By the time we reached high school, Sarah was the family's sun, and I was the moon, visible but only occasionally acknowledged. While Sarah bounced from one dream to another, ballet, painting, interior design, influencing, coaching, creative consulting, I went the opposite direction. I focused, I worked, I built. College wasn't a party for me, it was survival. Studying late, coding for hours, working internships, stacking every dollar I could. My parents still didn't understand what I did. He fixes computers. He's good with tech stuff. Some job in cybersecurity or whatever. They never asked, never showed interest, never came to see a single project or presentation. Not once. With my best friend Mark, I launched a tiny cybersecurity startup out of a cramped apartment in Austin. We built tools that automated detection, protected small businesses, and streamlined internal systems. We slept on beanbags, lived on ramen, took on debt, got rejected dozens of times, and then one of our tools went viral. An investor noticed, a major client signed, then another, then another. Our valuation rose to $20 million, quietly, steadily, without my parents knowing a thing. Not because I hid it, but because they never asked. Even as my income grew, my family's behavior didn't. They treated me the same. But my bank account, that was a different story. I paid mortgage, utilities, groceries, car payments, Sarah's rent, Sarah's tuition, their medical bills, emergency repairs, vacations, phone plans. Every time they called with a problem, I fixed it, quietly, effortlessly, without complaint. Not because they deserved it, but because I believed that one day, maybe one day, they'd look at me and finally see me. Spoiler. They didn't. And ironically, it was my success, the very thing they never noticed, that made them feel more threatened than they ever admitted, especially when I started giving attention to someone else, someone who actually saw me, someone named Selena Parker. People say timing is everything, and honestly, the day I met Selena Parker proved that true in a way I never expected. It happened at a tech conference in San Francisco, one of those events where everyone pretends to be more important than they really are, wearing overpriced badges and saying things like, "Let's circle back," every 5 minutes. I was there to speak on a cybersecurity panel. My company had just crossed a $50 million valuation. Not billionaire level, not flashy rich, but big enough that people in the industry were starting to whisper my name in the right rooms. My parents had no idea, of course. To them, I still fixed computers. Anyway, I gave my panel talk. It went great. People actually paid attention. A few tech founders shook my hand. Someone even asked for a selfie, which felt surreal. But the real moment, the moment everything shifted, happened after the panel. I stepped off stage, grabbed a bottle of water, and as I turned around, I saw her, Selena, walking toward me with the kind of quiet confidence that instantly makes you straighten your posture. She was stunning, yes, but it wasn't just her looks. It was the way she moved, like she already understood every person in the room without needing to say a word. She stopped right in front of me, extended her hand, and smiled in this warm, amused kind of way. Great presentation, Ethan. I shook her hand, trying not to look as caught off guard as I felt. Thanks, I appreciate it. She tilted her head, studying me for a beat. Then she smirked, like she was about to drop a bomb she knew I wasn't ready for. So, do you always let people think you're just the boring software guy who fixes computers? I blinked. Wow. Okay. Shots fired. Who said that? She laughed softly. Your dad, down in the hotel lobby. My stomach tightened. He said, what exactly? She raised an eyebrow. He told a couple conference guys that you just fix tech problems and do nerd stuff, and that he didn't bother coming to your talk because those things put him to sleep. She delivered it gently, not mocking, not pitying, just honest. I swallowed, trying to hide how hard that hit. She read my reaction instantly. Her expression softened in a way only someone emotionally intelligent can pull off. Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop that on you like an anvil. I shook my head. No, it's fine. Trust me, this is normal. Selena paused, studying me one more time. Then she said something that made my chest tighten in a way I wasn't prepared for. He has no idea who you are, does he? The way she said it, not judgmental, not sad, just quietly knowing, made it hit harder. I exhaled and shrugged. Yeah, they think I troubleshoot printers for a living. She grinned. Well, for what it's worth, your talk today didn't sound like printer troubleshooting. It sounded like someone building something real. That line, that exact line, that's when the spark happened. Because she didn't flatter me. She didn't overpraise me. She didn't fangirl. She saw me. Really saw me. And she saw the part no one in my family ever bothered to look at. We ended up talking for almost an hour about tech, family pressure, expectations, all the stuff people normally hide on first meetings. She opened up about growing up in a wealthy Silicon Valley family with parents who expected perfection. I opened up about being the forgotten child in a family that praised my sister for breathing and treated my achievements like background noise. At one point, she said, funny how people expect so much from the capable ones and nothing from the ones who actually need accountability. I stared at her. Are you a psychologist? She smirked. No, just tired of the same patterns. We laughed. But it was the kind of laugh where something inside you feels lighter. When she handed me her business card, she said, if you ever want to talk again, or if you have more printers that need fixing, call me. I rolled my eyes. She winked. The chemistry was so obvious people walking by were probably taking notes. A week later, she flew to Austin. Technically for a meeting, but when she landed, she admitted, okay, fine, the meeting was real, but you were the main reason. We grabbed tacos from a food truck, walked around Town Lake, talked under street lamps, and ended the night sitting on my office couch eating leftover pizza. The exact opposite of a fancy planned date. Selena joked, this is perfect. Zero pretension, zero performance, just us. We fit together effortlessly, like we'd lived two different lives that somehow shaped us into perfect puzzle pieces. And that's when I realized this wasn't infatuation. This was alignment. After a year of long-distance flights between Austin and Palo Alto, countless late-night FaceTimes, and slowly blending our lives, I bought a ring. A simple, elegant diamond. Nothing dramatic, nothing flashy. One night, while we were reviewing some documents in my office, Selena sat cross-legged on my couch with a messy bun and my hoodie on. I slid a ring box across the desk. So, I got you something. She froze, then whispered, are you serious? I nodded. Only if you're going to say yes. She teared up. Of course I'm saying yes, you idiot. We laughed. We kissed. We held each other like the world finally made sense. And then she asked the question that unknowingly triggered the entire disaster. Should we tell your family first? I hesitated. She saw it. Are they going to be okay with this? I gave the honest answer. Selena, they're going to be a problem no matter what. And boy, I had no idea just how right I was. Because the moment my parents and Sarah found out I was engaged to Selena Parker, That's when jealousy didn't just show up. It detonated. 2 weeks after the proposal, Selena and I flew to Austin to announce our engagement to my family. We were both nervous, but for very different reasons. Selena kept asking, "Do I look okay? Is this too much, too simple?" I kept asking, "Can we just elope and avoid my family altogether?" She laughed every time, kissed my forehead, and said, "Ethan, whatever happens, you and I walk in together and we walk out together. We're a team." Her saying that calmed me more than any therapy session could. We had dinner at my parents' house, the same house I paid for, maintained, and saved from foreclosure, but still somehow wasn't mine in their eyes. My mom opened the door, saw Selena's ring immediately, and gasped like she was auditioning for a soap opera. "Oh my God! Is that what I think it is?" Selena smiled politely. I could feel her squeezing my hand. My dad came out from the kitchen, wiping barbecue sauce off his fingers like nothing in the world mattered except the ribs he was cooking. He didn't even look at me. He looked at Selena's ring. "Wow, looks expensive." That was it. No congratulations, no hug, just an assessment, like I bought a used car. Then Sarah walked in. The moment she saw the ring, her smile died so fast it should have been declared medically deceased. Her eyes scanned Selena like she was TSA checking for weapons, outfit jewelry nails, hair designer shoes. Then her gaze moved to me with disgust, confusion, and something darker, pure jealousy. "You're engaged?" She said it like I had just announced I was joining a cult. I nodded. "Yeah, we wanted you all to know first." Sarah forced the fakest smile in human history. "Aw, so sweet. You know that voice women use when they see an ugly baby? Yeah, that one." Throughout dinner, the energy felt off. Selena tried to connect, asking, "So Sarah, what are you working on these days?" Sarah, "Oh, I'm between creative projects right now." Between projects =sign unemployed. Selena gave a polite smile. "What kind of creative projects?" Sarah shrugged dramatically. "I'm multi-talented, influencing, coaching, interior aesthetics, creative stuff." Selena nodded kindly. "That's great." But Sarah's eyes said, "Don't you dare outshine me in my own home." My parents weren't any better. My dad asked Selena, "What do your parents do?" She answered calmly, "They own Parker Innovations." My dad froze. My mom's jaw clenched. Sarah blinked 5 times in a row, stunned. Because Parker Innovations was not small, not middle class, not cute. It was wealthy Silicon Valley old money. And suddenly Sarah realized Celine A was the girl she wanted to be. And I, the boring software kid, had the life she thought she deserved. There was a visible shift, a mix of envy, fear, humiliation, and anger. Selena sensed it instantly. She slid her foot gently against mine under the table, not flirting, grounding me. Her emotional intelligence was razor sharp. As the night went on, Sarah kept interrupting Selena, trying to center herself, talking louder, boasting about her networking, complaining about her stressful influencer lifestyle, mentioning imaginary brand deals. At one point, she said loudly, "I mean, I always dreamed of a big wedding." She stared directly at Selena. Selena just smiled. Not smug, not rude, just a classy, confident smile that said, "Your insecurity is showing, sweetie." And that's when Sarah completely spiraled internally. I saw it. Selena saw it. My parents pretended not to see it. But something deep, ugly, and bitter cracked inside my sister that night. Because for the first time in our lives, my parents weren't obsessing over her. They were mesmerized by Selena. Her intelligence, her composure, her grace. And Sarah hated it, hated her, and most importantly, hated me for being the one who brought Selena into the family. When we left, Selena's words were quiet but precise. "Your sister wants to compete with me, and she wants to beat you." I asked, "Why?" Selena didn't hesitate. "Because your success makes her feel like she's losing, and your happiness makes her feel exposed. She can't stand not being the center of the story." She saw everything with terrifying clarity. She saw the storm forming before I even felt the first gust of wind. Because that night, deep inside Sarah's mind, she wasn't planning sabotage yet, but she wanted it. And wanting it was the first step toward doing it. 2 days before the wedding, while I was sorting out final details with the event coordinator, Selena walked into the room holding her phone. Her face was calm, eerily calm, like someone handling a bomb with steady hands. She said, "Ethan, we need to talk. Your sister called me last night." I froze. My stomach dropped. Selena never used that tone unless something serious was happening. I pulled out a chair. "What did she say?" Selena sat, crossed her legs, and pulled up her screenshots. "She said you're cheating on me." My heart slammed against my ribs. "What?" She held up her hand. "Listen, it gets better. Better was the wrong word. She opened the photos, and there they were, fake cheating screenshots. So badly done they were insulting. The texts were wrong font, wrong time zone, Android bubbles on an iPhone, emojis I'd never use, grammar I wouldn't write, cropped weirdly, time stamped during times I had investor meetings. It was laughable. If the situation wasn't insane, I would have laughed. But then, Selena said, she didn't stop with me. She called my mom, my aunt, my cousins, two of my bridesmaids. I felt sick. She what? Selena nodded slowly. She told them you've been unfaithful for months, that you're immature, not ready for marriage, that I should open my eyes before it's too late. I couldn't even breathe. Then she showed me the message my own mother sent to Selena's mother. We warned Ethan about his behavior. Please don't ruin the wedding for Sarah. For Sarah? My wedding was being treated as her Broadway show. Selena put her phone down and looked at me with soft, steady eyes. Baby, look at me. I did. Her voice lowered. I never believed her, not for a second. I exhaled sharply, my body relaxing for the first time in minutes. Then she added, your sister is jealous. This has nothing to do with cheating and everything to do with envy. I sat there in stunned silence. Selena leaned closer. She wants the humiliation. She wants to watch you fall apart. She wants the scene. She wants the attention. Then Selena smirked. Not evil, but empowered. Let's give her the attention she wants. Just not the way she expects. That's when she called in her secret weapon, her friend Caleb, a professional digital forensics analyst who had already reviewed the images. His findings were brutal. Metadata proved Sarah edited them. File creation times didn't match, screenshots built from templates, layer stacks visible, photo dimensions mismatched, compression artifacts from image editing apps. His exact words were, this isn't even amateur level fake. This is dollar store Photoshop. Selena snorted when she read that. While Caleb worked on the tech side, Mark handled the home side, pulled CCTV from my living room, found footage of Sarah entering my workspace, retrieved laptop access logs showing her login, recovered deleted image drafts, found a note app on her phone outlining her breakup script for Selena. And then, the smoking gun, a 28-minute voice note of Sarah bragging to her friend Emily. Once Selena dumps him, everyone will feel bad for me, and then people will finally see I'm the important one. She added, it's not my fault Ethan keeps stealing attention. Someone has to humble him. Selena replayed that part 3 times. Each time she laughed harder. Your sister is auditioning for a villain role she wasn't even invited to. We built everything into a presentation. Clean, professional, chronological, devastating. When we finished, Selena slid her hand across mine and whispered, tomorrow, she answers for everything. The storm had arrived, but this time, we were ready. The night before the wedding should have been peaceful. I should have been sleeping early, preparing vows, ironing my suit, maybe nervously practicing how not to cry in front of guests. But instead, I was sitting in my home office with Selena and Mark, surrounded by laptops, USB drives, and digital receipts that looked like evidence from a criminal trial. Because my sister didn't just lie. She waged psychological warfare, and now we were building the counterstrike. Selena sat cross-legged on the couch, scrolling through screenshots, sipping cold coffee that she'd reheated twice already. Her face was calm, too calm, like a surgeon preparing for a complicated operation. Every few minutes, she'd shake her head and mutter, your sister really thought this would work. Wild. Meanwhile, I was pacing like a man waiting for jury results. Mark, my co-founder and best friend since college, typed at lightning speed, analyzing system logs like he was hacking into NASA. He didn't even look up when he said, dude, you know she logged into your laptop from her phone, right? I stopped pacing. What? He swung the screen around. Unauthorized login. Device. Sarah's iPhone. Time. 1:43 a.m. Location living room Wi-Fi. Selena raised an eyebrow. So she snooped on your laptop and faked evidence? Girl committed a whole felony for attention. She said it so casually I almost laughed. Almost. Selena called her friend Caleb, a forensic analyst, and sent him the images. 15 minutes later, he texted back, yeah, these screenshots are fake as hell. Then he followed with a paragraph so brutal it felt like a roast. Metadata shows edits from a third-party app, layers visible in the PNG compression message alignment off, incorrect bubble spacing. Timestamps, impossible font mismatch on 2 lines. Screenshot taken on Sarah's phone, not yours. His closing message. Tell your sister she's not built for crime. This is Walmart-level forgery. Selena burst out laughing so loudly Mark jumped. Mark pulled up footage from the home cameras. Cameras my parents forgot even existed. And there she was. Sarah, sneaking, tiptoeing, acting like a child trying to steal cookies. We zoomed in frame by frame. She entered my office, opened my laptop, took pictures of the screen, scrolled through apps, used her phone to snap images, typed something, deleted her tracks. Or so she thought. Selena covered her mouth. Oh my God, she really committed a whole Mission Impossible scene for this. I didn't know whether to be angry or deeply embarrassed for her. Then came the nuclear bomb, a 28-minute voice note recorded by her friend Emily, accidentally synced to her Google Drive. Sarah's voice filled the room. Once Selena dumps him publicly, everyone will comfort me. I'll be the center of everything again. Finally. Then she giggled. Actually giggled. Ethan has always stolen attention without even trying. I'm fixing that. I felt my stomach twist. Selena's expression hardened. Not angry, not shocked, just disappointed. She's not mentally unwell, Selena said quietly. She's jealous. That's scarier. Mark found a hidden folder on her device named Wedding Plan B. Inside were drafts of the fake screenshots, a breakup script she wanted Selena to read, a list of guests she planned to console, notes like cry dramatically at the reception, look shocked. A message timeline she rehearsed, Selena whispered. She was going to turn your wedding into her TED Talk. I sighed. Yeah, over my dead body, Selena smirked. Over her social life's dead body, more like. We didn't just gather evidence. We packaged it into a presentation. A brutal, beautifully organized corporate-level takedown. Slide 1, timeline. Slide 2, fake evidence. Slide 3, metadata breakdown. Slide 4, CCTV screenshots. Slide 5, laptop logs. Slide 6, audio recordings. Slide 7, sabotage communications. Slide 8, Plan B folder contents. Mark added smooth transitions. Selena picked strong background music. I added commentary that would hit like a hammer. It was poetic. By 3 a.m., we were done. Selena placed her hand over mine. Warm, steady, grounding. Tomorrow, she said softly. We don't fight. We don't argue. We simply tell the truth. And let your sister destroy herself. I nodded. Let's end this. And we went to bed. Calm, collected, prepared for psychological war. The wedding day was beautiful. Too beautiful. Like the universe was setting the stage for something truly cinematic. White roses, warm sunlight, soft jazz playing under fairy lights, guests laughing, taking photos, sipping drinks. And then there was Sarah, walking into the venue like she was the star of the show, hair curled like she paid someone $500 for it, dress bedazzled like she was going to the Oscars, smile stretched so wide it looked painful. She scanned the room for Selena like a predator hunting prey. Selena looked stunning, calm, radiant, elegant. Sarah hated that. Selena walked down the aisle and I swear time froze. But behind her, I saw Sarah, arms crossed, eyes narrowed, jaw clenched. She was waiting. Waiting for Selena to explode. Waiting for drama. Waiting for her big moment. At one point, she looked at her phone like she was checking for updates. When we exchanged vows and kissed, the guests clapped. And Sarah looked like she was going through all 5 stages of grief at once. After the ceremony, guests filled the hall. The vibe was perfect. Lights dimmed, music, soft drinks flowing, happiness everywhere except for Sarah. She wandered around whispering, trying to revive the lie. Only she knew. Poor Selena. Some men just can't stay loyal. She said it loud enough for people to overhear, but quiet enough to pretend innocence. Selena clocked her every move. Then she leaned over and whispered in my ear, "She thinks the show is about to start. Let's give her an encore instead." I walked up to the stage, tapped the mic gently. The room quieted. Selena stood beside me, arms crossed, expression unreadable. I smiled calmly. Before we begin the celebration, I want to thank someone very special for all the hard work they put into this wedding. Everyone turned. All eyes landed on Sarah. She froze, fork halfway to her mouth. I continued. My sister, Sarah. Polite claps filled the room. Sarah waved nervously, trying to play it cool. Then I stepped aside, and the projector behind me turned on. Slide 1. How Sarah tried to destroy my wedding. A full breakdown. Gasps rippled through the room. Sarah's face drained faster than a phone battery on 1%. Slide after slide. Fake screenshots, metadata proof, Sarah's edits. IP login logs, CCTV footage of her sneaking into my office, audio recordings of her bragging the Plan B breakup script, messages to Selena's family group chats where she plotted humiliation. With each slide, the crowd got louder. Shocked whispers, gasps, muttered curses, whispers of, "Oh my God." Selena stepped up, took the mic, looked Sarah dead in the eyes. I never believed you, not even for a second. The room cheered. Selena wasn't petty. She was dignified, confident, unshakable. And that's what made Sarah crumble. She screamed, "This is fake! You set me up!" Selena smirked. "Sweetheart, you set yourself up." Mic drop, literally. Even my parents were speechless. My mom cried into a napkin. My dad couldn't look at anyone. Sarah ran out of the hall, sobbing so loudly it echoed. Guests stared after her like watching a dramatic exit in a HBO finale. People came up for the next hour apologizing to Selena, comforting us, praising our calmness. Selena held my hand and whispered, "Baby, you just won your freedom." She was right. The truth wasn't loud, it was devastatingly clear. Sarah's facade had shattered, and there was no coming back from it. The day after the wedding felt unreal. The sun came up like any normal morning, birds chirping, neighbors mowing lawns, people walking their dogs. But inside me, something had shifted permanently. It wasn't anger. It wasn't hate. It was clarity. For the first time in my life, I saw my family exactly as they were, not as I wished they'd be. Sarah didn't sabotage my wedding because she was confused. She did it because she genuinely believed my happiness was an injustice to her. And my parents didn't defend her because they were fooled. They defended her because they've always chosen her. At my expense. So now, after 30 years of being the ATM, the emotional punching bag, the invisible child, I was done. Not loud, not dramatic, not vengeful, just done. And letting go doesn't always sound like a scream. Sometimes it's just silence. That morning, while Selena was asleep, wrapped in my hoodie, hair messy, breathing softly, I sat in my office with a cup of coffee and opened a spreadsheet titled Family Expenses All Years. Rows and rows of numbers, mortgage payments, insurance premiums, medical bills, college tuition, car payments, credit card payoffs, Sarah's rent, family vacations, utilities, grocery runs, random last-minute emergencies, all paid by me. The total? $487,000. Almost $500,000 from a boring software kid who fixes computers. I stared at the number for a long time. Not with regret, not with sadness, just acceptance. I had given them everything, and in return, they almost took away the one thing that mattered most, Selena. I called my attorney, Jeffries, a quiet, middle-aged guy with the emotional range of a toaster, but the legal precision of a sniper. He picked up immediately. "Morning, Ethan. Congratulations on the wedding." I sighed. "Thanks. I need to take care of some family matters." A short pause. "Scorched earth or surgical strike?" I smiled for the first time that morning. "Surgical, but make it deep." He chuckled. "My specialty." By noon, automatic payments started disappearing one by one. Mortgage, utilities, internet phone plan. Car insurance. Health insurance, credit card, auto pay. Subscription renewals all canceled. My parents didn't realize it at first, but when the emails started rolling in, my phone buzzed nonstop. "Mom, sweetie, something weird is happening. Can you call?" "Dad, Ethan, utilities are saying payment was declined. Fix it." "Sarah, why is my rent payment bouncing? Fix it now. Not please. Not can we talk. Not we're sorry for what happened. Just demands." I didn't reply. Not out of cruelty, out of peace. Remember the house they bragged about owning? The one I secretly saved from foreclosure years ago? Legally, I owned 75% of it. So Jeffries drafted the document. Notice of ownership enforcement. Buyout or vacate in 60 days professional. Straightforward, legal, nothing emotional. My parents called Jeffries directly, furious. My dad yelled so loudly I could hear him through the phone speaker. "He can't do this to us. This is our home." Jeffries replied calmly, "Legally, it is not." Silence. Real cold silence. The kind that comes when reality finally hits. The $68,000 F-150? In my name. Dad used to brag, "My boy bought this for me because he loves his old man." No, Harold. I bought it because you couldn't keep a job for more than 6 months. Two polite repo agents arrived. My dad stormed outside, shouting, threatening, embarrassing himself. But the title was clear. They drove off with the truck. My phone blew up again. Ignored. Sarah owed $120,000 in tuition, $40,000 in credit cards, $20,000 in unpaid assistance. Jeffries drafted. Repayment enforcement agreement. Full repayment required. Monthly installments starting next month. Missed payments is equal to legal action. Sarah called sobbing. Actual sobbing. "Ethan, please. I don't have that money. I can't do this. Why are you doing this to me?" I stared at the wall as she cried. Not cold, just neutral. "Sarah, all I did was stop paying for your life." She screamed. I hung up. For years I put them on. My company, insurance, dental, vision, emergency access, corporate discounts, admin panel. 3 clicks, removed, removed, removed. Less than 60 seconds. Jeffries mailed certified letters stating, "All further communication must go through legal channels." No more guilt trips, no more manipulation, no more emotional blackmail. Just peace. Real peace. For the first time in my life. My phone was silent. My mind was clear. My house felt like a home, not a battlefield. My heart felt mine again. Selena walked into the office later, wearing one of my shirts, hair messy from sleep. She sat on my lap and rested her forehead against mine. How do you feel? I exhaled slowly. Free, she smiled softly. You didn't hurt them. You just stopped hurting yourself. Those words way hit deeper than any therapy session I've ever attended. We drove to the airport the next morning. No family, no chaos, just us. San Diego greeted us with sunshine, ocean breeze, and the soft crash of waves. We checked into a cliffside resort, walked to the balcony, and breathed in a life I never thought I'd get to live. Selena rested her head on my shoulder. Your past didn't deserve you. Your future does. I kissed her forehead. She whispered, Ready for your real family now? I pulled her closer, watching the sun melt into the Pacific. Yeah, I said softly. I think I am. Then I whispered the line that summed up everything. Texas justice. Fade out.